What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Gore Pimp, here with the first of a series of artist highlights here in Austin, Texas. I'm here with Andrew Trent and Kareem. I'm sorry, what was the last name? Badra from a band called Concrete Horse. These are artists that I've known for a little while. Well, let's start here with Concrete Horse. I saw on Bandcamp the description for your album. Can I go ahead and just read it to the guys? It's very interesting to me.
Go for it.
10,000 years hence, in a universe not unlike our own, war is waged by soldiers and mercenaries piloting titanic anthropomorphic fighting machines. Occasionally, these wars are just. More often, though, they are fought in the name of corporate greed or totalitarian control. But when an invading alien empire strikes, all must band together to save the Iridium throne, the symbol of hope and light, no matter who sits upon it. Will their efforts change the universe for the better, or will this at last be the end of humanity? Now, I wanted to start off reading that because I thought that was a very interesting concept for an album.
It's that old chestnut, you know. It's
Yeah.
good, evil, aliens, robots, you know.
So what was the inspiration behind the story that birthed this project?
So I'm a big dork, and I like anime, specifically things like Gundam and Macross that have giant robots in them. And so I was thinking about the whole story. Kind of came to me in like little snippets, like little bits of like, here's a scene, or here's a situation where guys with the machines are fighting against, or like they've been hired to put down a labor rebellion, but they realize, wait a minute, man, the corporate guys aren't our friends. We're actually more in line with the workers because we're just mercenaries. So I started thinking about it, and I was trying to figure out how to tell that. And it was like, well, I'd like to write maybe a novel, but I don't have the discipline to write a novel. And then I thought, short stories, but what is this, the 1950s? Nobody writes series of science fiction short stories to get picked up anywhere. And I'm no artist, so it couldn't be a comic book. And then I realized, well, I'm a musician. I should do it as a song cycle. And like, I'm an old punk mostly, but I realized giant, heavy robot fight, it's got to be metal. So I was like, well, all right, let's go with a metal approach. So I needed to put together a band that could do metal, and I needed to write songs in a sort of metal genre. And like, my earliest music really was metal when I was younger and first like starting to play and stuff. And so it's that late 70s, early 80s vibe of metal. So it's like, it's coming out of that original wave of the super heavy Sabbath and Deep Purple and Blue Oyster Cult kind of stuff. But so I play bass and I do the singing. Kareem is one of the guitarists. A guy named Ty Denton is our drummer. I'd played in bands with him, and he is a basher. He can play hard and loud, and that's what we needed. And then the arguably the lead guitarist, although both guitarists take leads.
He's the lead guitarist.
Kareem will say he's the lead guitarist, but they both play leads. That guy, Josh Rebikov, is he is a shredder par excellence. I mean, he is a noodly shredding machine, and so he kind of brings a little bit more of a mid-'80s metal sound to it. So Kareem was the one who kind of came up with this comparison. Musically, it's kind of sitting in those first couple of Dio solo albums after he left Black Sabbath. So it's still got that sort of root in the 70s, but you're starting to get that 80s feel to it. So all of that came down to, had an idea, realized the only means of expression I really had was music. And so that's kind of what the genesis of it was.
So the interesting thing to me about the backstory is it completely had a flashback to my youth. There was an album by a band called Fear Factory.
Okay.
Obsolete.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that
I know
album.
them, but I don't think I know that album.
The concept kind of is very similar in nature, like the machines taking over and that whole thing, like you said earlier, that whole chestnut. And when I was listening to it, it kind of was like definitely giving off that vibe. Not
right
musically, but conceptually.
Okay. I'll have to give that a listen then, for sure.
Oh yeah, if you haven't, highly recommend. One of my all-time favorite metal albums of my youth.
Dig it.
So I understand you guys are working on some new music.
We are. Josh, the other guitarist, has some stuff from an old project that he did long ago called Ether Breather, which got re-released a few years back by a label in Greece. And he got sort of that brought it back to his heart and soul. While he's been living in Austin, because he's from New York originally, he's actually been playing like mandolin and folk bands and stuff. And so when I came to him and said, I kind of would like you to do this, he was all in because he hadn't had a chance to play what's really near to his heart in so long. That he jumped in, and we did our first album with the stuff that I had come up with, and now he's kind of digging through his back catalog and pulling some things forward. And then I've also been writing some new stuff, totally divorced from this concept, and it just going in, still musically in that kind of vein, but taking inspiration from other things, specifically some Borges short stories as kind of the seeds of inspiration.
I'll have to keep a lookout for that.
Well, we're working on the songs now. We've got, I guess, 2 or 3 of Josh's pretty well in the can, and we've really started working on like a 4 to maybe 5, I haven't decided yet, song cycle based on these short stories that I'm going to bring in. And they're all independent. Like the short stories don't connect. They don't tell a big story the way this does. But they're all like, little bits here and there.
Yeah, so what brought us here together today is your band Concrete Horse, but the concept of these videos, I want to highlight you all as artists. So I understand you have some side projects that you've been working on. Kareem, you're an actor too?
I am an actor. I've been an actor and improviser in Austin for 21 years, mostly an improviser, or primarily an improviser at first. And I've been doing scripted work and TV and film for a number of years. Theater around town.
Anything we might have seen you in that?
I am briefly in season 2 of 1923.
Okay.
Which is the Yellowstone sequel to the prequel series. so many Yellowstone projects. I'm in an episode of The Chosen, and I'm working on some other stuff. And I've mostly done a lot of stage work around town. So I'm in an improv troupe called P-Graph that's been around for 20 years that performs mostly out of the Hideout Theater and will continue to do so while it still has its downtown space. We've been around for a long time and performed literally thousands of shows together. Music is something I've always been interested in, and I've noodled and played with the guitar for quite a while, but kind of put that aside as I was learning how to act and just doing that with all my time. And 5 years ago or so, when we were all holed up in our collective homes, we couldn't go out, I was like, I should pick up the guitar again.
Yeah, I get that.
And I started doing that again, and then coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, Andrew was like, hey, you want to play in an old school metal band? I was like, yes I do. Yeah.
Well, I love y'all's music. I really do. It's on Bandcamp, Concrete Horse. The name of the album is To Save the Iridium Throne.
That's right. That's right.
Right, yeah. And I guess look out for new music. It's not on, is it on other platforms too?
Yeah. It's on Apple and Spotify. And
Okay, yeah. Look for Concrete Horse. Before we bring this to a close, is there anything else you guys want to plug?
Let's see. I'm working on something entirely different musically with my wife, who is a visual effects, like screen art person, and I'm doing like oddly some lo-fi hip hop beats to go with her visuals. The name of that project is probably going to be Sleeb, S-L-E-E-B. We're just getting it off the ground, but look for us. Hopefully we're thinking like at breweries and other places where it would be, very backgroundy, chill Sunday afternoon, not unlike where we are right now.
I imagine a brewery would be a cool backdrop for like a lo-fi trip-hop
Yeah, that's
thing.
kind of the plan for it. So that's eating up my time when we're not working on things ourselves.
Okay, right on.
Right on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys sitting down with me for a few minutes.
Totally.
And once again, keep a lookout for Concrete Horse. The name of the album is To Save the Iridium Throne.
Yep.
And new music coming soon.
We are indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Pimp. Can I call you Gore?
You can call me Gore if you want to.
All right, Gore. Give me a hug, brother. Keep it up.
Yeah.
We appreciate the chance to talk and keep doing this. This is a great thing to show off local artists in Austin.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Right on. Take
Yeah.
care, man.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.